you hear from. Your past is a gift. So in this video, I wanted to talk about suicide, okay? Because for the last few days, I've really been thinking about it, about how it works, what happens to us when this, when these thoughts take over. Now, I'm really trying to understand it because when I've been through 2 depressions in my life, and in both, I was overwhelmed with sadness, okay? In my depressions, I was just overwhelmed, and it's a crippling feeling because as the days progress, you feel more and more hopeless, that there's no way out. And, you're constantly thinking about suicide, about the way out, and to end it all. And then it'll be over. The pain will be over. The pain that you're going through at the moment, at that time, So that's the depressions that I've experienced, this sadness that just takes over. Now, I've never been in them long enough. In my depressions, they've only ever been for 2 or 3 years, and that was it. But I believe that with time, if you're constantly in this state of mind, in this overwhelming sadness, that this is what causes the chemical imbalance that we may get sometimes in our mind, in our brain. Because what happens is, if you're constantly in this state where you're sad, the chemistry inside your body, what's going on inside is always in this tension of this sadness. There's a difference to feeling sad, where everything's all constricted inside and it feels all like this, compared to a joy where everything feels loose and released. And so I believe that with time, if you're constantly restricted like this inside because of this sadness, and this anxiety that comes, that's what causes the imbalance in our mind, the chemical imbalance. Now today I was actually reaching out because I want to understand more about panic attacks, who goes through this, what goes through your mind, what is happening when you have panic attacks, because I have friends that have been through it, but I've never really gone into what's going on at the time. What causes this anxiety. Now, in my mind, going, through my whole life and the experiences that I've had, I believe that these panic attacks or this anxiety happens when someone's been through something traumatic. So say, for example, a person's been sexually molested as a child, okay, and you're constantly being abused in this way. Okay, and you don't have a say because as a child they just use you as an object and they don't ask you permission to do this. They just do it, okay? And a lot of times they guilt you into doing it, and you don't feel good about it yourself, So I think what happens is with time, these panic attacks develop because of that. You're feeling like that's going to happen again and you have no control over it. It's this not having control because you weren't given any to start with. It was taken away from you as a child, when you had to go through all of this. So today, if you're one of these people, okay, because honestly, being sexually molested as a child is a lot more common than people think. It is so common. It's not talked about. And this is one of the things I'm hoping will come out of these videos, that people will start to open up and start talking about these things. Stop being ashamed of what's happened. Because a lot of times these things happen to us and we feel ashamed of who we are, that this has happened. But the truth is, it's happened to you. You didn't have a choice. Do you understand? As a child, you were made to do these things. You didn't have a choice, whether you wanted to or not. So you shouldn't feel, at this point in time, if you can look at it like that you were a child and you didn't have a choice. From this moment on, try and look at it as that, as the innocent child that you were. and to stop feeling ashamed of what's happened to you, because it's just what someone else has done to you, but you don't have to live with that inside of you for the rest of your life, because it wasn't your fault. You were just a child, you know. So in previous videos I talked about, and I'll go into it now with the next one, but just stay with that thought today with this video. I don't want them too long. I just want it little, you know. You can sit with it for a minute. What happened to you was not your fault. You were just a child, and you didn't have a choice. And that's where I believe with all my heart that these panic attacks come from. Things that have happened, whether it's sexual molestation or it's been, you know, physical violence in the home, and you've had to watch this over and over again in your home, you know, but you don't have any control over it. You can't make it stop because you're too little. You're too little, and it's really up to these grown-ups to make that decision to stop it. Okay, so I really want you to think about that today. Firstly, it wasn't your fault. And secondly, you didn't have a choice. And that's where this not having control over that situation will start to bring in these panic attacks and this anxiety, because you didn't have control over the situation. You couldn't do anything about it to change it, to stop it, to make it go away. All right, so think about that today. And in the next video, I'm going to go more into what we've talked in previous videos. But in case you missed those, you know, I can't stress it enough, you know, because that's what's going to help you move forward in your life. All right, my darlings, remember to click like and subscribe below for more videos. And please, if you are one of these people going through this, email me. If you don't feel comfortable enough to comment below, send me an email. My email is below in the description. Send me an email. Let me know, because I really, really want to learn. I really want to know what is going on so that I can help others. All right, my darlings? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.